Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome. It's your man got dots back with another episode of the Audible. Let me kind of get some housekeeping out of the way. Apologize for yesterday's show. It wasn't my fault. Mother Nature shut a brother down. No power, no show, no Wi-Fi, no show. I could have went live from the phone, but that was a little bit too um what's the word I want to use? That was a little too ratchet for my taste. A little too ratchet for my taste. I like my usual setup when I'm doing my shows. So this couldn't do it. So I had to reschedule. How you doing, Dr. Nick? I rescheduled yesterday's show for Friday and kind of rearranging some stuff around. So the Freestyle Friday show I was gonna do Friday, maybe doing it this weekend sometime. I gotta see. Brother got a lot of stuff going on. Brother got a lot of stuff going on. A lot of ideas I want to get out. Not enough time in the day. Well, take that back. It's not enough time in the day that I want to dedicate to doing it. Those that know, no. Right. But like I said, hope everybody had a good week. Hope all my people that's on the East Coast, you good, you got power. If not, hope all is well with you wherever you at, whatever you doing. Like I said, Mother Nature took me out because I tried. Oh boy, I tried, but you know, power company just went operating. By the time I got power back, it was way too late to be trying to do any kind of a show. So Monday's show has been moved to Friday. Same bat time, same bat channel. So let me kind of get into tonight's breakdown. This week we're really focusing in on the AFC East. Much like the NFC East last week, this is one of the stronger divisions when you look at the teams from top to bottom. But I would say this division differs from the NFC East in one aspect. I can make a case. Or you were spared. That was good. I can make a case for three of these teams making a very deep run into the playoffs, possibly AFC champion, possibly a Super Bowl run. The thing about this division, what separates them from the NFC East, is these teams are so fatally flawed. And you'll see what I mean when we get to Friday's show when I have to make my pick for the division winner coming out of this. A lot of preseason polls have Buffalo being the favorite. I'm not so sure, and we'll kind of get into that when the closer we get to Friday. I wanted to start out with, like I said, the team that I don't think has any chance of winning this division unless a lot of things fall their way, and I mean a lot of bodies fall out of their way, and that is the New England Patriots. Patriots last year coming off the second losing record in the last couple of years since Tom Brady left. If you follow what the Patriots were doing, if you're a Patriots fan out there, I do apologize what you had to suffer through last year between the inept coaching decisions being made by Bill Belichick, some of the staff he hired, some of the positions he had that staff at. And it's looked like we're going to be running it back with it even. In my opinion, like New England is not a horrible team when you look at them on paper, but this is not a team that is, this team would be pushing for a playoff spot in the NFC. In the AFC, I mean, you're pushing for top 10 pick with this roster. It is not much to like, and it's been like that for the longest time. And I think people have finally got to give this man some credit. You've got to give Tom Brady credit for elevating the level of talent that has been in New England. New England has, for the most part, for the most of the years of their quote unquote dynasty run, never rolled out the most talented team in football, but typically rolled out the most well coached team in football. But it helps when you have transcendent players at certain positions, and Tom Brady fits that mold as being a transcendent player. They've had plenty of Hall of Fame players or Hall of Fame caliber players who played for that organization over the past 20 years. I'm talking about the Richard Seymours, talking about the Willie McGinnises, I'm talking about the Ty Laws, I'm talking about Rodney Harris. I mean, they've had great players, and what you're seeing now in New England without having those transcendent type players, what kind of a coach Bill Belichick is, and I think it's time we have a real. You will never give him credit. Hey, trust me, I get it. I mean, but the last 3 years have shown you nothing else. Bill Belichick, a lot of his success has to be credited to the talent of Tom Brady, and vice versa. I'm not going to say that. I mean, it was all Brady and it was all Belichick. I mean, it was a wonderful partnership to have. But I think it's time, family, that we really have a real long talk about is this going to be, in my opinion, and I know Robert Kraft is not, excuse me, has not come out publicly and said so. But there's been reports in the media that with his relationship being as icy as it is with Bill Belichick, not having that guy there to kind of bridge the gap, as you had in Tom Brady between ownership and coach, you might be looking at the last year as Bill Belichick is head coach of the New England Patriots. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I meant it. You can't, and Robert Kraft is an owner that is used to winning, used to wanting, having. You have a lot of organizations talk about winning. You have a lot of organizations do the things that it takes to put themselves in winning positions. And New England is one of those franchises that have always kind of put themselves in a position to win, whether it be players coming in taking less, buying into the Patriot way, Tom Brady taking less money, so they can spend money in other positions to get this team over the hump. New England, if nothing else, is a winning organization and does things that winners do. But when you look at the product that was put out on the field last season, and you look at some of the decisions that were made by head coach Bill Belichick, namely how you have Joe Judge, if I'm not mistaken, was a former special teams coach. He had a little run as a head coach, but it was cut his teeth as a special teams coach. We had Matt Patricia, who also had head coaching experience with the Detroit Lions, but really cut his teeth on the defensive side of the ball. How are one guy is the quarterback coach and the other guy is the offensive coordinator? How in the hell are you expecting your team to have any modicum of success when you got guys who are coaching them in places they have no business coaching in? I'm just going to keep it a buck. And it's part of the reason they brought in Bill O'Brien to be the offensive coordinator, mainly because he was offensive coordinator at Alabama, Roll Tide. When Mac Jones was there, they're trying to rekindle some of that magic in Alabama. News flash for you Patriot fans. This is going to be a very harsh critique. Obviously, I'm not picking the Patriots as one of those three teams I said could possibly make a deep playoff run. If you haven't caught on by now, it is not going to be one of those. I'm going to have a very harsh critique of this team. I mean, because like I said, it's not much to really hang your hat on. They don't excel at any one thing. This is one of those teams that are pretty good at a lot of things and not great at anything in particular. I mean, it's holes all over this roster. I mean, they did go out and draft a lot of guys. How you doing, Ms. Murph? Welcome to the show. Hope all is well with you. They did go out and draft a lot of guys, but are these guys going to be contributors at the beginning of the season? At the beginning of the season, when we look at some of the guys they brought in as far as free agents, I'm getting ahead of myself. Just like I do with every team, it starts with the quarterback position. But we're going to kind of get to that because it's not much to really to be salivating over. It's not much to be excited at that position. Well, okay, let's dive into it. Mac Jones is projected to regain his starting role, but if you watch the Patriots last year, he looked bad. A lot of that was I'm going to put a lot of the blame on some of the coaching. I mean, because you got guys like Joe Judge and Matt Patricia who had no business coaching anything on the offensive side of the ball. Now, I don't care how much talent, verbal skills a gentleman has at explaining X and O's. You have guys that are experts in that position. In the NFL, typically you put the experts in the positions that they have their expertise in, not try to get them to do things that they are not accustomed to doing. You don't have your top flight cornerback out there learning blocking schemes with the offensive line. You just don't do it. But you got Mac Jones returning as a starter. I personally think Bill Belichick doesn't too much care for Mac Jones. But then again, it's not really much to like with Mac Jones. I know he was drafted first round of the year that he came out. But it's it wasn't like he was uber talented. Played for my team. Roll Tide, roll, goddamn Tide. But I never thought of Mac Jones being a elite level quarterback in this league. Nothing about him is special. I mean, he's a good quarterback. He can get you from point A to point B most games, but when you need guys to really make plays at that position, nothing about Mac Jones, nothing about Mac Jones' talent level. And trust me, I've seen enough of him in college and in the pros to know this is not his toolkit. It's just not. But you do have Mac Jones returning as starting quarterback, but then you have Zappy behind him. Zappy who got some starts last year. When Mac Jones went out, played okay. But did what backups, supposed to do. Just kind of keep the team afloat, not make mistakes. But he played surprisingly well, considering the circumstances. And Bill Belichick has kind of taken a liking to him. So I'm not sure. Mac Jones is, like I said, projected to be the starter. I'm not sure if Mac Jones struggles, they don't pull him and put Zappy in. I mean, that's a Bill Belichick thing to do. I think Bill is kind of realized, it's the light at the end of the tunnel. He's walking into it, and this might be the final year that he's walking into it. Might just walk off into the sunset, but like I said, quarterback positions it's okay, but it's not much to love. Kind of like every other position on this team, like it's okay, but it's not much to love. And when you look at this team, you got to look at some of the decisions that this team made as far as money that was spent, money that wasn't spent. Look at the running back position. You have Ramondre Stevenson, kind of penciled in as the starter, but it did let former starter running back Damian Harris go in free agency. So when you look at the running back situation, Ramondre, Pierre Strong, you have Ty McGurmy kind of like being that third down kind of back. I mean, it's okay. But it's not putting fear in teams. Teams are not going to have to drop 8 or 9 guys into the box for Ramondre Stevenson. And he's an okay running back, but he can be part of a committee. He's not a guy you want to depend your whole running game on him. Then it gets kind of worse as you kind of go through this team. Like I said, it's not bad. But this is not a team that's going to compete in the AFC. I'm sorry to tell you, Patriots fan, that this is not a team that is going to compete. I mean, you have Devontae Parker kind of penciled in as wide receiver 1. They paid him a lot of money this offseason. I don't know why. It was no market for Devontae Parker. Now that the price tag they ended up paying for him, you then end up letting former wide receiver go, Jacoby Myers. Like, what are you doing? Jacoby Myers a way more productive receiver last year for them over Devontae Parker, but you gave, not only you brought him back, but you gave him a lot of money. Like he was lower echelon number 1 receiver, but it ain't much to like. I mean, Devontae Parker is cool, but he's never been a big time receiver, but you gave him big time receiver money. You brought in Juju at the wide receiver position, a pretty good number 2 when he's paired with at least a competent quarterback that can take advantage of some of his gifts. But Juju doesn't jump off the paper to me. I mean, probably the most athletic wide receiver they have, Tyquan Thornton, is not a very good route runner. Does have speed to get deep, but is not honed in on the route runner. Like I said, wide receiver position, it's okay. I mean, you're gonna hear me say this a lot about the New England Patriots tonight, because I mean, when you look at the roster, it's just okay. And in the NFL, you can be okay in certain positions, but you can't not just be okay at as many positions as this team is just okay at. Like this is, man, it's not much to like. You can go to the tight end position. They brought in Kasicki coming over from the Miami Dolphins. Pair him with Hunter Henry. I mean, they're okay, but neither one of these guys are I guess or a game changer at tight end. I mean, they're okay. especially Hunter Henry when he's healthy, but they're just okay. Offensive line is it's the same thing. You're gonna hear me say this a lot when I'm talking about the New England Patriots tonight. I mean, they're okay. Probably the strongest position on the offensive side of the ball is possibly the center, David Andrews. I mean, left tackle Trent Brown is okay. Right tackle Riley Reef, he's okay. He's seen better days. Guards are okay. I mean, it's not much to like. It's it's not much to like. It's kind of the same thing when you get to the defensive side of the ball. Like, let's start in the middle. The defensive line. We'll start with that front defensive line. Christian Barrymore, Gottschall, Lawrence Guy. I mean, these guys are okay. I mean, more like rotational defensive tackles. None of these guys or like go get after the quarterback type guys. I mean, they're okay with run. I mean, run defense. Possibly the most talented player on the team is edge rusher Matthew Judon. Now, Matthew Judon, I do like. I've liked Matthew Judon ever since he was at Baltimore. I do like him in the edge rusher role that he plays in his scheme. I think he played off the ball a little bit too much for my taste. I think in this scheme he's playing in with the talent that he's playing with, he's got to be the one bringing the heat each and every down for this team to have a respectable pass rush. But outside of him, on the outside of the defensive line, I mean, they did draft Keon White, a very athletic defensive end, but he's a rookie. He's a rookie. Josh Uche, he's had a modicum of success, namely when he played with the Chargers. But he's okay. I don't see this team really being able to get after the quarterback. Linebacker position. I mean, it's not much to like. You have Juwan Bentley there, Raekwon McMillan, Mac Wilson, former of Cincinnati. Like, they're okay. Okay. But this is not a linebacking core that is going to inspire fear on teams. But then again, the Patriots as a whole this season, when you look at the roster, it's just okay. And they don't inspire fear in nobody. It's no, and those, my people out there to play a little bit of Madden to be out next week. Your boy gonna cop that. How you doing, Gator Girl? And I want to, I'll address what you said at towards the end of the show. I thought it was funny. I did catch it the other day. But I mean, this team is just okay, and here you are coming in talking about the more weird massages. I mean, I'm trying to keep it to the football, but we're gonna talk about my outlook of this team is just really just okay. I do like them drafting Christian Gonzalez, Oregon cornerback. When you look at the rest of the quarterback room, he's going to be starting. He's going to have some growing pains out there as a rookie. This defense and the style of defense they play is really focused on the secondary holding up and the team being able to kind of get cover shots and get pressure off of that. Because outside of Judon, none of these guys on the defensive side of the ball, as far as the front seven, really scare me as bringing consistent heat outside of Matthew Judon. I like Christian Gonzalez. Like I said, very good draft pick for them. Jonathan Jones is okay. Marcus Jones is okay. Jalen Mills, Adrian Phillips, Kyle Duggar, Jabril Peppers. I mean, that's pretty okay lineup at the safety position. I mean, you got guys that kind of do a little bit of everything, but none of these guys are just like lights out at their position. I mean, they're just okay. And I think with this roster as how it's constructed, and the Patriot way, not this not having the same gravitas, the same allure that it used to have back during the championship years. Guys not willing to sacrifice money and all of that comes with it to be part of the Patriot system. I mean, this is a team that is clearly on the decline. When you really look at the team, I'm just going to be flat out honest with you. It's not much to like for this season, unless they go out and change their whole concept of how they go after free agents. Um, I mean, it's not much to like, man. It's not much. It's not much to like about the team this year. It's no outside of maybe like Christian Gonzalez. Maybe Tyquan Thornton if he ever develops as a wide receiver. It's not much to like. Oh, as far as young talent on this team, these guys are just okay, and being okay, um, is just not is just not going to cut it. Um, it's just not going to cut it, and I think this year I'm gonna go out on a limb. I think this team. Well, this is not going to be a limb. I think this team is going to have a losing record. I got this team. I don't think this team wins more than 7 games. Really, honestly, when you really look at the team, when you really look how the schedule kind of breaks down, for them going forward, you're really looking at maybe a 5 or 6 win team, especially in this conference. Like I said, in the NFC, depending on what division I put this team in, you might be looking at a team that can possibly make the playoffs. But the AFC is so stacked. Your division is so stacked. You have 3 teams in your division that I can make a strong case for. Is making a deep playoff run, a possible Super Bowl run, and New England is not part of that conversation. And when you look at the team as it is, like I said, a lot of things got to fall their way. We've seen crazier things in the NFL. Um, so I mean, if they happen to get a winning record, color me shocked. But of course, it's going to have to be some kind of tomfoolery with other teams, guys getting hurt, and all kind of stuff for them to kind of. This is a bottom. This is one of the worst teams in the AFC. When you look at them on paper, and I know a lot of people put a lot of stock into Bill Belichick coaching legacy and the things that he's done, record wise, and the defensive mind that he is, and I will not take that away from him. He's one of the great defensive minds of our time. But it's like Father Time is caught up to this team. Father Time is caught up to this concept. This is an outdated concept of how to build and run an organization. And so I see this team, I'm gonna max them out. I think this team is a 6-11 team. I can't make any kind of a case for this team making the playoffs. I I just can't. When you really break this team down, you really cannot make a strong case for this team making the playoffs. And it's nothing to like. I mean, this is a okay team, and you can't, how the team is kind of positioned. This ought to be a year where they, Robert Kraft should have just said, you know what, Bill, we need to just tear it all down. I mean, it wouldn't have been much to tear down. Let's start really renovating this house. We really got to try to change how we do business, because the way we do business doesn't work anymore, because we don't have the best quarterback in the league during that time, taking less money. He's a cheater. I know a lot of people are happy for the day that this organization kind of fades to black, fades back to obscurity. I, I'm with y'all. Bill Belichick is a cheater. He's a guy who has shown he will cut corners, manipulate rules. He's one of those guys. You give him a rule book, he's looking at the real fine print. I mean, let's keep it a buck. He's one of those guys that'll push the limit to a rule. If he can find it, trust me. And Bill is he knows all of them. He knows all of them. Knows how to exploit them. But yeah, you don't have Brady there taking less money. You don't have a transcendent quarterback. You don't have the transcendent talent that you are accustomed to during your championship years. That's the Gator girl. We was on the right foot. We was on the right foot. Then you come in here with that Jerry hate. I did very good in far as breaking your team down. You gonna come in here with the Jerry hate. I mean, come on. I mean, really. That's what type of time we on tonight. But yeah, I got them finished 6-11. Nothing positive to say about New England. It's not much really to take from this roster and how they've kind of put it together. I think Bill Belichick still thinking he's running the team um, from the late '90s, and this is not it. This is not it. You guys, have spent money poorly. I think the Devontae Parker signing, that deal they gave him was out of their mind, because you were bidding against yourself. Nobody was clamoring to have Devontae Parker as their wide receiver one. Trust me. Trust me. It's a reason why Miami moved off of him. He was never able to kind of put it together and really be that number one receiver that a lot of people thought he would be when they drafted him. So, yeah. But now, before I kind of close out the show, I gave out, and I said I was going to say this when I saw you next. You had something to say about me using my slogan over in the other space for the Bill show, and I caught that at the end of the show. But by that time, I'm doing my outro, so I'm out of there. But he was like, don't do that. It's for the day one. I got you. I got you. I got you. I thought that was funny. I had a good laugh for that one. The day ones, boy. As always, I appreciate it. As always, remember, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I forgot who I'm doing tomorrow. I mean, like, my schedule's like all kind of messed up after yesterday. We'll get into the rest of the AFC East this week. Any like big time news dropping as far as the sports world is concerned, we will be on that. I plan to have I'll see. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the Saturday show. I know the initial plan was to do the college football breakdown. I may have to push that to Sunday. I may have to push that to Sunday. May have to do an early show or with that on Sunday. But your boy got a lot on his plate, man. I'm trying to do a lot of things. I got a lot of ideas. Hopefully, when I get to when I finish doing all these team previews and we get actually to the actual football season, I'm hoping. I'm gonna kind of scout around, see what I can do, but I'm hoping to have. I want to do like a Monday wrap up show for all the Sunday games. I want to do. I want to do a Monday wrap up show. I'm trying to find a co-host or a co-pilot for that show. Like the Monday wrap up show, like Monday night countdown type thing, and we kind of break down some of the big moments from the big games of that particular weekend. But that's next month, so we'll see. Yes, it is a good close, but don't. I know how you feel about me being over there, Gator. I know. You're not the only one that's kind of verbalized my presence over there. How I could be doing so many other different things, but it's a part of me that that enjoys it. Because it does have its moments. I think we had a good moment this past Sunday over there. Until it kind of went left a little bit, but I think we had a good discussion, and I like having those discussions. But yeah, don't worry, I won't be using it no more over there. Considered how long it took me to come up with over here, I should be using it over there. I got you. But as far as that other space, I mean, it's my time is slowly but surely kind of winding down over there. I got a couple more things I want to get done, but I think my time is kind of winding down over there. It's almost like Jay-Z say, what more can I say? I mean, I'm kind of like at that with it. I want for people to catch this on the replay. He retiring from over there, like nah. But time is winding down. Time it's like it's. I got a couple more things to kind of get through, but my time is kind of winding down for the most part. You got a thing over there with a brand over here. You're right though. I mean, you're right. Now I don't argue with that point. It's part of the reason why you've been kind of seeing me less and less over there for that particular reason. I like to be over here in the quote unquote corporate space, my quiet space. Um, it's a lot less noisy. It's a lot less noisy over here. But I do got some things I gotta kind of do over there to kind of get some stuff in place over there. Um, I'm trying to collab with a couple people on some other kind of stuff too, outside of that regular stuff over there. But we'll see. Like I said, the stuff in motion over here. I think we're in a good spot. We're in a good spot. Well, I feel like we're in a good spot, and I say we because I do have day ones over here. Yeah. Let me get off my let me get off my little soapbox. Let me get off my little soapbox. But yeah, I mean, just over here, you guys kind of seeing like the build stuff I was doing over there. It's kind of helped me over here, and I'm still Miss Burp. I'm working on trying to get together and come up with like a Twitter page. I don't even know how to really run it. I got to get with Mrs. Dots for more clarification. She's real big into that kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'll slowly bring some more people over here, but I don't bring just anybody. You guys know I don't just bring anybody and everybody over here. And it's reasons why I don't do that. Everybody I don't it's just our peaceful little zone where we kind of get together and it's no noise, it's no frustration. It's just fans getting together talking about the sports. So but yeah, I do have a couple things to do over there, Gator Girl. A couple more things to do, and then I'm cut the light off on the porch. Eventually. I can get with that. I can get with that, Mister. We want fun, but not every over here. But we keep it clean over here. I know you was in attendance when we did the boxing show with my man Mark Nash and Grown Man. Like I want to kind of have stuff like that where it's not personal. We not on the crazy stuff that we do. That's happening in the other space. Yeah. Okay. I'm not. Come on, get it, girl. You. Come on. We've known each other in the quote unquote YouTube streets for a number of years. Um, I got a couple more things. Be patient with me with that space over there because I got a couple more things I want to do. I mean, but after I kind of do those things, and I'm I'm just going to kind of be seeing me more over here, way more, and less over there, because it's not going to be any reason for me to still kind of congregate in that space. Like I said, I'm working on a couple things, trying to get together with a couple people, work on some projects. Um, and I might do a show, as I get closer, closer to the end of wrapping up that series over there, to where, um, I can kind of share what the vision was, with that channel. Yeah, so I can share, what the vision was. 'Cause I don't think everybody got it. I still think a lot of people don't get it, but but it's like I said over here. I'm really focusing on here as you starting to see me more over here than over there. And that's by design. That's by design. That's always been kind of the plan. But everybody's is not able to not I realize that everybody's not able to come along that that journey. But yeah, yeah. We will be unpacking all the conference movement that's going on in college football when I do the college football breakdown, because I ain't gonna lie to you. As far as like knowing the personnel for a lot of these college football teams, I know a couple key players on a couple teams, but I'm not that in depth. I mean, it's too many. First of all, too many teams be trying to keep up. I mean, we talking about top 25. I really look at college football, for me, really top 10. I don't really look at teams. Now you do have teams that come out of nowhere and surprise you, but for the most part, I gotta really focus in on the pedigree, the top teams. But yeah, we're gonna talk about some of the conference realignment and what does that mean for a lot of these conferences going forward. It's a lot of teams being shuffled around, deals being made. I think it's all money motivated anyway, but we'll kind of talk about that when we do the college football show. Let me get my behind up out of here because I try to keep these shows relatively short. Make sure you come back tomorrow, Mother Nature permitting. I'll be back, same bat time, same bat channel, doing what I do over here. Good clean fun, good clean fun. Yes. And let me kind of end it off with a phrase that pays, because y'all know how I can get with these monologues when I get started. Save it, dots. Save it. Okay. Let me kind of end it off with a phrase that pays around here. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but every time you learn. And I'm out.